Even with every character having a sad backstory shown, this week's chapter might have the saddest moment in all of Blue Lock. Thankfully it's not all sadness though, because with Isagi and Kaiser teaming up, PXG have finally begun to respond with some chemical reactions of their own. What's going on everyone, my name is Animasu, and today we'll be taking a look at Blue Lock chapter 287, titled Because You Were Here. If you enjoy staying up to date with Blue Lock or just want to support my channel, please click that subscribe button and comment below for the algorithm. I also have a community Discord link down below, and there you can chat, game, or just hang out with me and other fans of the series. Without any further yapping, let's hop right into today's chapter. Instead of intro text, Blue Lock 287 starts off with an amazing double spread that's colored and all. Taking place in some winter woods with red flowers blooming on the floor, Isagi, ITOSHI RIN, and Kaiser are all depicted in some badass stances. Isagi has a blue kimono on and has dual Glocks, aiming a pistol at each of his rivals. ITOSHI RIN is crouched down with his tongue hanging out and a long curved sword, more than likely representing his illogical playstyle or curved shots. Lastly, Michael Kaiser is depicted in a German military uniform, wielding both a sword and gun also aimed at both people. Overall, it's just a really cool spread of the three main egoists, and at the moment my only gripe is that SHIDOU ryusei is being forgotten even in the official art. I mean, come on bro, he's an ace of PXG too. Comment down below which of the three characters was your favorite on this spread. Anyways, the chapter itself begins with Kunigami Rensuke and Ness both staring into the sky, as Michael Kaiser's deflected shot seems to still be in play. With us then seeing Isagi reverting to his 0 point, he begins to analyze how even the logical coordination between him and Kaiser can barely be stopped by exceptional talented learners. With Karasu and Charles both shown sporting smirky and excited grins, Isagi realizes that scoring a goal at this point will not be a simple task. As he then begins to sprint into action, puzzle pieces begin to peel off from his body as he once again attempts to adapt himself. Instead of clouding his brain with too much thought or irrational feelings, this egoist craves to change things up and spark an idea to bypass PXG's talented learners. As we then see Francis Speedster leaping into the air to chest trap the ball, Alexis, Ness, and Kunigami are left helpless as they attempt to intervene. Before Ness can recover and once again try to take the ball, Santetsu quickly rotates his body and shoots off a pass to SHIDOU ryusei. The demon flies through the air to make a clean trap, singing out with a smile on how it's finally his time. Making me blush by making eye contact, no pause, SHIDOU continues on to say that they will blame the loss on him if he takes too long. This translation does come across heavily as it's an intentional fourth wall break, and while fitting for SHIDOU and cool, it's always best to go off officials. Ryusei, Yoichi, and kiyora are all shown leaping into action, forming a triple press around PXG's rampant demon. Although he initially looks concerned as anyone would with 3 whole bodies on them, he then goes on to smirk and sing out that he too has plenty of ideas. With all 3 of them holding him back and crowding his space, SHIDOU ends up making a backheel pass here to completely bypass them all. The target of this pass? ITOSHI RIN, who we see trapping the ball with the most shocked expression ever. Ryusei too screams out and asks what the hell is going on in this match, and with SHIDOU using the confusion to break free, he screams out and explains it all. He believes that if Bastion Munich's aces are going to team up and overpower them, it's only fair if he and ITOSHI RIN link up and do the same. I absolutely love this moment as I not only predicted and begged for this, but SHIDOU is super wholesome with how quickly he dropped his grudge to work with Rin. He's always appreciated and praised his rival's ability. I just think that he and Rin don't get along well because their personalities are fundamentally different and Rin can't accept when other people are good. Anyways, Tabito, Karasu, and Charles then appear sprinting on both sides of ITOSHI RIN, smirking wide while offering their assistance to the ever-evolving PXG. Yoichi and kiyora are also shown both talking about how crazy this is, and sadly, they then proceed to get cooked. While approaching Hiyori, ITOSHI RIN decides to quickly bypass him by heel flicking a pass over to Tabito Karasu. The ball is then chained towards the Imp Charles, who instead of accepting the ball, allows it to pass in between his legs and arrive right back with SHIDOU ryusei. Sliding it at his front, Bastion Munich's heaven-sent warrior assures the demon that this is the end of the line. Gritting his teeth to try and act fierce, Igaguri is thinking about how he'll do anything and everything in his power to stop SHIDOU, so that he'll then become a hero. Becoming the unshakable genius he is though, SHIDOU just taunts his opponent as he flicks the ball, laughing that Igaguri of all people has such confidence inside of him. With the next page showing SHIDOU far past the monk with a simple bait and run, the demon rubs salt into the wound by telling Igaguri to try harder in the next life. The poor kid looks terrified but refuses to accept this loss, so with SHIDOU attempting to sprint away, Igaguri desperately leaps backwards and grips onto his shoulder. My glorious demon is obviously caught off guard and frustrated by this, but no matter, he screams out that his explosions cannot be stopped while passing off the ball. With Igaguri literally flying through the air while holding onto the toppling SHIDOU, he's left helpless to just watch the pass curve around one defender and bounce into the box. There's nothing more he can do, and that's saying something considering he attempted to take SHIDOU to Suplex City. Anyways, like I said, the Demon's Pass ended up skipping off the pitch and just outside of the box, arriving at the front of the destroyer himself, ITOSHI RIN. Staring down at the ball with his tongue hanging out and a monstrous aura flaring, all he can think about is scoring this final goal and finally becoming number 1. Igarashi's screaming out for someone to just please stop him, and sure enough, 2 voices are synchronized, pinpointing the ideal stopping point. Isagi, Yoichi, and Michael Kaiser once again work together perfectly in order to shut down Rin, this time with Michael doing the block while Isagi makes the tackle. We see this take place from an overhead view here on page 12, and these two look absolutely demonic and awesome here. ITOSHI RIN is left stunned and unable to react, breaking down the situation himself basically as it occurs. As the loose ball flies off into the sky high above the goalpost, Gagamaru screams out to compliment their logical duo. Kaiser and Isagi have perfectly synced their thinking here, and it shocked even ITOSHI RIN to his core. Huffing for air while standing up from the ground, Isagi goes on to mock that PXG's teamwork is too shallow. Just like how Isagi and Kaiser can't magically become geniuses by pulling off special moves, SHIDOU and Rin can't magically become hyper-adaptable in the context of logical coordination. In this amazing panel calling back to the earlier moments of Isagi's ego, he and Kaiser are shown posted up looking down upon PXG's dual aces. He taunts them to just keep playing their crazy-ass football, because in the end, they'll never outsmart these talented learners. I think what I love most about this panel is the shading and darkness of these characters, meanwhile their eyes contrast and pierce into your soul. Also the fact that this whole time, Kaiser isn't talking any shit, he's just letting Isagi take the most of it because he knows that's what he does best. Anyways, the speakerphone then makes a loud buzzing sound, as the announcers say that there was a malicious foul caught during a previous play. As the monitor lights up and replays Igarashi absolutely slamming SHIDOU into the floor with his grab, it's explained that the play was allowed to continue due to PXG's advantage. Despite that, Igarashi will still receive a yellow card, which has him looking shocked and sad. He's cursing under his breath over and over. However, with another demanding voice being heard from behind him, Igarashi is told that he is out. With Noa being shown, he explains that with ITOSHI RIN already seeing through and adapting to Igarashi's foul bait, the monk will no longer be useful in this match. He would only be a burden for Basher Munich in this high pace and intensity match, and his abilities outside of baiting fouls are very lackluster. Although he is left speechless for a moment, Igarashi begs and pleads to continue his fight. He currently has no salary and will likely not have any if swapped out now, so more than anything, he wants to continue trying. Take a seat. Your theory is utterly lacking in logic. With no empathy shown at all, Noah sternly stands by his choice as Igarashi pleads over and over to just stay on the pitch. Even as the poor kid begins to cry, Noah explains that Basher Munich's objective is to achieve victory, and anyone who could hinder that will not be allowed to play. Giving him a serious look while staring into his soul, Noah commands that he go and take a seat and accept his fate. Your time in this league is over now. Falling to his knees with tears swelling up, Igarashi begins to think back on all of his accomplishments within the Blue Lock program. After everything he put in, his soccer life and dream are now over. Igarashi has reached the end of his time in the Blue Lock program, so with no more words, he just stares blankly into the distance while biting his lip and sobbing. With a hand patting his head however as he turns around, Isagi Yoichi appears to comfort his day one. Isagi says that the only reason he's still here today is thanks to Igarashi, and as this wholesome moment occurs, puzzle pieces begin to fly all around with memories of the two homies. A scene from the cafeteria as they both joked around and shared food near the bottom leaderboard. Isagi encouraging Igarashi and giving him advice on how to survive. Even the very start of their journey where Isagi refused to hit him in the tag game. All of their experiences together led up to this moment. So with one final shot of Igarashi crying his heart out, Isagi confidently tells his friend that he's glad he was 300th place while staring into the distance, ready to continue his own journey. With that being the final moments of today's chapter, I just have to say, what a depressing end they left us with. We started off with SHIDOU and ITOSHI RIN linking up for some super cool action, and after one bad play, boom, Igarashi's done in Blue Lock and I'm wiping away tears. Like I previously said, Blue Lock chapter 288 will not release next week, but rather 1 week later due to the holiday season and breaks. Despite that, we can still have fun theorizing on what's to come. Let me know down below who you all think will sub into the game in place of Igarashi. Will it be Yukimi Akinyu, Karona, or will Neru Teppu finally come onto the pitch? Whatever the case may be, if you all enjoy Blue Lock and want to stay updated or support my channel, click that subscribe button and drop a comment for the algorithm. I also have a community Discord link down below if you'd like to hop in and chat with me or other members of the community. If you join, make sure to ping me in general and let me know what your thoughts are on this week's chapter. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.